So yesterday, Morning Joe was trying to muddy the water, and CNN was doing the same thing.
The House conservatives are demanding the release of a memo. It's a memo by the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes.
And Kevin Nunes is on the committee who's overseeing this, and it's based on all of the top secret stuff that they've done in the background, and he knows what he's talking about.
A memo that details allegations of FBI missteps during the 2016 election.
Are they allegations or are they findings?
Democrats counter that this is just a political document and an attempt by the GOP to distract and discredit the Russia investigation.
Of course they are saying this because it discredits it and they want to do away with it.
Jessica Schneider is out front. So, Jessica, let's start, obviously conservatives, this whole, rallying cry of release the memo, and they have it in some secret room where you can't remove it.
Perhaps it is in a room locked up where no one can get to it for security reasons. It's marked top secret. I understand Democrats don't really understand what top secret means because Hillary and the people under her sure as heck didn't understand it.
They've surrounded it in all kinds of secrecy.
Not just secrecy, top secrecy.
What is the real story about the memo?
Yeah, so it's kind of Democrats versus Republicans.
Of course it's the Democrats versus the Republicans and the Republicans versus the Democrats. That's the only way you can discount this as nothing more than partisanship.
Aaron, so it was written by Chairman Nunes. Republicans who have viewed it, they say it demonstrates widespread abuse by the FBI during the 2016 election. So now some of those Republicans want it in turn released to the public.
So Nunes is doing his job. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's looking at all the evidence. He wrote a report for all the other people on the committee, and they're allowing some of the congressmen, all of the congressmen, to go look at it. And a whole bunch of Republican congressmen have gone and looked at it. And only one, as of the time that your video was made, only one Democrat has seen it. So how do they know what it says? How do they know it's just awful or it's meaningless? How can they make that judgment if only one Democrat has made the effort to go look at it?
So this is a 4-page classified report, and it comes after Devin Nunes reviewed materials that were provided to him by the FBI and the DOJ.
So he had all he needed to make the proper decision, the classified documents to look at and determine what was what, and he wrote a report like he was supposed to.
But Democrats are putting it this way. They're saying that his findings are misleading and skewed.
How do they know what it says?
And it's all just part of the Republican effort to help the White House undercut the Russia investigations.
So what you're saying is that the Republicans are willing to destroy the reputation of the FBI just to further their political gains. That doesn't sound like the Republicans. It sounds like the Democrats to me.
Conservatives, they've repeatedly accused the FBI of relying on the Steele dossier in its own investigations, and they want to know how and if the FBI used the dossier to obtain FISA warrants on Trump associates.
Yes, you've stumbled across the actual crux of the matter, the Steele dossier. If it was used to get a FISA warrant and it's all made up and it's all a bunch of baloney, and they knew it was a bunch of baloney, they misled the court and a crime has been committed. There needs to be trials and convictions and people in long prison sentences.
And also an interesting note about this, Aaron, it turns out that it's not just Republicans who are pushing to make this Nunes report public. Tonight, the Twitter tracking tool Hamilton68, it's actually found that Russian-linked Twitter accounts are blasting out the hashtag release the memo.
That sounds like hearsay to me. There's bots that are pushing this to try to get it trending where more people will see it. Oh, well, if they're bots, they got to be Russian bots. I'm just wondering how you would know this.
Trying to put some backing to this, and WikiLeaks is even offering a reward to anyone who submits that memo or the report to its site.
Well, that is what WikiLeaks does. WikiLeaks collects data to put out, and if it's interesting data and it's trendy data and it's current data, all the better for them. So they're going to give a bonus, they're going to give a reward. Well, yeah, that's what they do.
Aaron?
Well, look, if there's one thing I will put a bet on, it's that it eventually gets leaked.
Leaked in Washington, D.C.? How could you say such a thing? That's just can't be done. You just can't do that.
But certainly the last thing, if you're Devin Nunes, that you want for your credibility is Russian hack bots tweeting it out.
What would Russian bots have to do with Nunez? He didn't ask them to do it. He didn't require them to do it. He's got nothing to do with it. If they do it, they do it on their own. It's got nothing to do with him.
Because let's be clear, Jessica, this memo is from Devin Nunes, who is one of the president's most loyal supporters and certainly no stranger to controversy.
You call it controversy. I call it baloney.
Surrounded by controversy, there was a lot of tension over Nunes's role on the committee, and that bubbled up when he secretly traveled to the White House back in March.
Yes, it was so secret that we all know about it. Boy, that was one secretive guy. He can really be stealthy when he wants to.
He reviewed classified intelligence that he claimed showed rampant misconduct by U.S. officials when it comes to unmasking. He even briefed the president on what he reviewed, but
yes, the documents he looked at are in the same room that his report is in. It's top secret. You go in under high security, you look at the stuff, you read it, and then you leave. That way you get to read it, but you don't get to take it. And it's in top secret. It's top secret. No one else can see it.
none of that has really been substantiated.
Definition number 2 is the one that applies here. It's a need-to-know basis, and it's very restricted.
That all bubbled up. He said that he would step aside from the Russia investigation after he became the subject of an ethics investigation into his handling of classified information.
It's pretty ironic, and it's incorrect. He did nothing wrong.
But really, in the months since, Aaron, it's been almost a year now, Nunes has really run his own effort to push the FBI, the Justice Department for all of these documents about the dossier, and he's been unrelenting, leading to this report now.
So he's a good man trying to do the right thing. Imagine that.
Aaron.
All right. Thank you, Jessica.
This dossier was made up from the start by the Democrat Party and the Hillary Clinton campaign, and it was taken over by the FBI, and the FBI used it as if it was real, and it's all rigged, and it's all just a bunch of baloney, and they used it to try to bring down a duly elected president. Heads need to roll. People fired, perp walked, given a fair trial, and then given long, decades-long prison sentences. That's what needs to happen. This is a teaching moment, and these people in power need to realize that they're not above the law. So, if you like my stuff, subscribe and share. Thank you.